I'm going to get back to the jobs report and bring in Gary Cohn, the director of the National Economic Council. Mr. Cohn, welcome to the program. It's great to have you today.
Stuart, it's great to be with you.
209,000 new jobs created last month. I said that's a little disappointing. I was expecting more. How about you?
We're very happy with the number. We've now created well over 1 million jobs since the Trump administration's come into office and since election. The economy continues to grow. We got a GDP number last week of 2.6% for the quarter. Unemployment rate down to 4.3%, back down to a 16-year low. Things are on course for the economy. We're very pleased with what's going on.
Can I talk to you about tax reform for a moment? Because
sure.
from an outside perspective, and that's me, I'm looking into this thing, and it looks like it's going to be a slimmed-down tax cut plan. Slimmed down to just maybe tax cuts for individuals and tax cuts for corporations. And it's not going to be paid for. Is that how it's shaping up?
No, I don't agree with that whatsoever. The way we're going to do taxes and the way we have to do it is it's going to have to balance. We need to do permanent tax reform in the United States. The way you do permanent tax reform in the United States is that you have it balanced over 10 years. Yeah. We are committed, the Group of Six is committed to do permanent tax reform in the United States. That's what we're working on. I think you saw our statement last week. You can see that the group of us is completely on the same page. We're working towards real tax reform as well as major tax reductions in the United States.
Are you going to say that growth in the future will pay for the tax cuts now? Is that how you pay for it?
Growth in the future will help us pay for tax cuts. It's obviously one of the initiatives.
And what else will you do?
When you lower the corporate rate from 35% down to 15%, that 20% has an enormous multiplier effect in the U.S. economy. Of course we're going to get growth by lowering the business rate. We're also going to lower individual rates. When you lower individual rates, individual consumers are going to have more money. Individuals are going to be able to go out and renovate their kitchen, buy that new car, take a trip, do what they need to do with their money. Individuals are going to be able to decide how to spend their money. The government's not going to spend it for them.
Now, you just mentioned a tax rate on corporations of 15%. Are you firm on the 15% number? Because we've heard 20%, maybe 25%. Are you firm on 15?
Stuart, we are committed to get as low a rate as possible. We have agreed that rate is the #1 factor that matters most in tax reform. We are going to do everything we can to get the rate on the businesses, and this is all businesses, not just corporates, on business down as low as we can.
I have to ask you about the timing. If you're going for comprehensive tax reform, now you said that's what you're going for, it's not just a slimmed-down tax cut. If you're going to do that, you've only got 12 days when the House and the Senate are in session together between now and the debt ceiling time frame, and you've got to do a budget and the debt ceiling in those 12 days. That's going to be a crowded schedule, isn't it, if you then want to move on to comprehensive tax reform?
I think we're all aware of what the legislative calendar looks like. We know how important debt ceiling is. Secretary Mnuchin has been working tirelessly on making sure the debt ceiling gets through and gets through appropriately. We're all working on taxes. We understand the budget and the budget process and how that's going to play in. We feel confident that we can get it done this year.
Republicans in the Senate, will they agree to tax cuts for wealthy people and wealthy corporations? Because there are some waverers in the Republican Party in the Senate who don't seem to like that.
What Republicans in the Senate agree is that tax cuts are stimulative. When you take the business rate down, we're going to stimulate the economy. When we take the personal income rate down, we're going to stimulate the economy. Republicans universally agree upon that.
Okay, can I ask you about Apple's $261 billion mountain of cash? I'm sure you're familiar with it. You want to bring it back to America. Do you think lowering the corporate tax rate will do it?
Of course we want to bring overseas cash to America. We want companies to invest in America. We want companies to create jobs in America. We need to incentivize companies to bring their money back to America. Our tax plan has incentives for companies to bring their cash back to America and invest it in the United States, invest it in the U.S. economy, and create high-paying jobs here at home.
How are you going to stop these leaks? Because it looks like sabotage from within at the moment.
Look, I come into work every day and do my job. I know that my team's doing a great job, and I'll let someone else worry about those problems.
Oh, that's okay. You know, you've really learned a great deal about diplomacy since your time in the White House. You really have. We love the way you answer a question directly. I said, you're not going to pay for themselves, these tax cuts? And you said, no, they're going to pay for themselves. We really like that, sir.
Well, I enjoy talking to you as well.
Okay. Let's do it more often. Garrett Cohn, thank you, sir. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.